For more on all of that, we're joined by Jason Brodsky. He's a senior analyst at the group United Against a Nuclear Iran. Thanks for being with us, Jason. So first of all, let's talk about Iran's claims that Israel killed the IRGC Colonel Jafari. This was someone who was quite senior in the organization.
It's great to be with you, Laura. Yes, Dawood Jafari was reportedly a member of Iran's IRGC's aerospace force, but interestingly, he also has a pedigree related to the IRGC's Navy. There have been photos circulating of him meeting Iran's supreme leader when Ayatollah Khamenei was greeting the crew that detained U.S. Navy sailors back in January 2016. So he does have that Navy pedigree that's quite interesting. He allegedly worked on drones and air defenses as well in Syria. So these are all very important connections.
So pretty big loss for Iran. And what does this tell us about the current Iranian presence in Syria? They say that they're simply to advise President Assad's forces.
Well, I think Iran has been effectively running the ground war for Assad for some time, and the death of Dawood Jafari is just one more example of that dynamic. And my concern is that as Russia has to redeploy assets to Ukraine, given the amount of resources that it's having to expend there, that will provide a more permissive environment for Iran in Syria.
Well, the US has now concluded that it was indeed an Iranian drone that hit that oil tanker linked to an Israeli billionaire earlier this month. Can we expect more such actions coming out of Iran?
I think so. I think that as Iran is under pressure domestically, it is going to be increasingly lashing out abroad. We saw this with the intelligence that was disclosed that Iran was plotting an attack on Saudi Arabia. We see this now with the vessels. And so I think more of such plots and episodes will be apparent in the coming weeks. But it's also important to note that the attack on the Pacific Zernica was used by a Shahid 136 drone, which is the same drones that are being used in Ukraine. It was also the same kind of drone that was used for the attack on the Mercer Street back in July 2021.
And on the nuclear program, Iran said yesterday it will go ahead and ramp up uranium enrichment at its underground site at Fordow. Is this a negotiating tactic designed to get the West back to JCPOA talks?
I think Iran is trying to test international red lines right now with the 60% enrichment at Fordow using advanced centrifuges like the IR6s. It's hollowing out the JCPOA. It's not acting like a government that is interested in returning to the accord on reasonable terms. And I think the United States and the E3 need to take the message that they need a new approach to Iran's nuclear program and that the JCPOA is just no longer relevant in the world today.
Jason, might we see all of this as a kind of distraction technique to stop people looking at the protests that continue across cities in Iran? And we should mention that the UN has just warned Tehran over the crackdown.
I think Iran is going to want to be showcasing strength amid protests. In terms of its nuclear decision-making, we've had the precedent in the past was in 2009 when there were talks with the international community over a fuel swap proposal related to the Tehran research reactor. And Tehran stalled and would not finally agree to the deal. And I think that we're going to be seeing a similar dynamic here with Ayatollah Khamenei wanting to portray strength and not signaling to the international community that he's desperate for a deal.
Great to talk to you as always, Jason. Thank you very much. Jason Brodsky there.
Thank you.